been dragging my feet about this specific topic. I've been meaning, honestly, to post it for a good, probably month, maybe. But I've been dragging, honestly, a lot between, sorry, my cat just made a whole bunch of noise. But I've been dragging a lot, trying to transition back into, like, work and things like that. I just had a vacation 2 weeks ago. My boyfriend is working a second job that is overnight, and for me, I'm literally directly impacted because I want to be there and support him through trying to transition. And then honestly, during this time, I'm normally just really moody. Like, I'm normally surprised when I can go into a fall or a winter just completely content, completely optimistic. And it's not to say like I don't love fall and winter. I do, actually. I love fall. I love to layer up. But I'm just talking about mentally and emotionally. Some people call it seasonal depression. I don't think mine is as far as depression, but I definitely feel like when winter comes, I kind of become docile and hibernate spiritually and emotionally, where I'm just feeling tired and I don't have anything to give. And then I feel guilty because I have all these ideas still and so many things that I still want to do, but I don't feel inspired or motivated to do those things. I definitely feel like a slowing down is occurring. And then on the opposite end, when the springtime comes, I'm a lot more like, yeah, peppy, ready to go. I feel like I'm blooming with the flowers and everything is just smelling good. I'm like waking up like a good, commercial. It's just a different vibe. And I developed a few things that I do along the way, but I also wanted to just have a live. I just wanted to have a connection or some time for us to talk about those things. What season are you in? How can you tell what season you're in? And this can be spiritually, emotionally, or physically, like we're literally in what is turning into fall, winter. Well, we're already in fall, but you know what I'm saying. So I wanted to talk about that. It's going to be a two-part segment where right now I'm going to talk about what those seasons look like, how it may physically display itself, because you may not realize that those things are physically displaying because of where you are mentally and emotionally. So just informing you. And then the second part is going to be more so focused on things that you can do instead of the things that you might feel, or in contrary to the things that you feel. So like I said, these are some things that I'm slowly about to get myself back into because I've just been feeling a state of exhaustion and I don't have it. But first, let's get into like 4 personal seasons of life. It is going to correspond to seasons that have to do with physical in nature, because in case we didn't realize, human beings are connected to our environment around us. So we go into similar seasons as living organisms like plants and other animals. We just do different things. So for winter, they normally correspond this time with maybe sadness, heartbreak. A lot of people are feeling emotionally lonely at this time. Limited, dormant is a good word, or like sleep in hibernation is normally the feelings of how you're feeling. I clearly have fast tracked to winter because that's how I feel. Like, I've been terrible with communicating, terrible with getting back to people, and at this point, I'm just hoping nobody is mad at me. So then let's go into fall. With fall, you feel a sense of success or achievement. Fall fails in lessons, captured lessons. You just want to make sure you capture the lessons at this time is what I'm trying to tell myself. My notes are crazy. And then harvest of the work that you did in the springtime or the summertime. And I find it ironic, I'm going to keep going, but like my perspective of these seasons have definitely impacted how I feel when I'm reading these words, and I'll continue that in a second. But let's go on over to spring. You're filled with hope, new beginnings, opportunity, rebirth is a word that's attached, maybe colorful, and seed planting. So this is when you plant all those either emotional, financial seeds, tendencies. And then summertime is where you see the most growth. It's the time that you need to protect your seeds so that you can harvest. And it's a time of distractions, measures where you are able to kind of pretty much just check and adjust the work that you have been doing. Check and adjust the process. So back to what I was thinking, right? I feel as though with the words, I'm attaching my emotion to it. So when I read things like for fall, it is equivalent to success or achievements. Some people that is viewing this may not feel that way at all. They may feel like fall is the time where I feel the lowest. But those things are correlating to, I'm noticing the seasons correlate to a process, a step of, and it's very similar to farmers and how they reap the harvest of their labor. Farming is a really hard job. You wake up early in the morning. You, not only before you plant the seed, you have to tool the land and make sure that the soil is appropriate so you can actually know that I'm doing this work for a reason and I'm going to get what my intended product is. So let's equate that to the emotional job that we have day in and day out. That job is not easy. You wake up early in the morning still with whatever is on you or whatever is holding you down that you haven't let go. You still have work to do. You still have things that you want to accomplish that you might be tending the land to prepare for in hopes of it being a good product. So that's what I'm seeing when I'm looking at these different seasons. So I kind of want to go back into it and look at it from a different perspective, because perspective is everything. That is you being able to tell the difference between what you see versus another angle. Okay, so we see what I see. Now let's look at it from another angle. Or you see what you see. Now let's look at it from another angle. So if we're going to start with winter, sadness, heartbreak, loneliness, dormant, sleep, hibernation. When we're talking about animals and plants, normally this time, a lot of things aren't dead. Actually, they're just in slumber, or they're regaining their energy to do the work, basically. Or they may be eating the things that they have saved up for the preparation of knowing that during this time, everything else around me will be sleep. So sometimes the emotions that you're feeling aren't yours. Sometimes you understand you're going into a space and time where everything else around me will slow down, or everything else around me will cease to exist and move on or stop moving. And so a lot of times during this time, things are dormant, meaning they are alive underneath. And a lot of times that is the case. So I'm starting to view winter a little differently when it pertains to me, because sometimes I'm alive. It's just under the environment that I'm currently in. Like everything is slowing down and I have to get readjusted with that. Sometimes when things slow down, I think two things. Either I'm not doing enough, so that lends a hand to me not feeling like, hi. That me not feeling like, I'm really showing up for myself. So that lends a hand to me feeling sad and me not having any purpose. But I think if I spent a lot more time thinking of it as a sleep or hibernation where I'm regaining my energy, I still feel like I'm doing something of purpose and use. And I literally thought about that today because I fell asleep before I was supposed to reach out to some friends and family. And I was asleep for a good 4 to 6 hours. And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything. I'm looking around. I still have clothes to be folded, dishes to be washed. And I'm just like, but I was doing something. I was regaining my energy. It's been draining, like I said, transitioning and things like that. So I am doing things of importance. Sometimes doing nothing is really what you need to do. When there's nothing else to do, just rest and prepare for when things get busy. So then if I look at, let's say fall, it talks about success and achievements, fails and lessons, and being able to capture those lessons, but also harvesting or the harvest of the work that you did in the spring and summertime. So we're in that space now, physically, as far as environment goes. But check on yourself emotionally. Check and see, okay, I might be feeling those things, but it may be a deeper underlying meaning. Maybe it's, I know physically, because humans are animals, let's not forget, so we understand that innately the time is moving into a space where I should be harvesting, I should be reaping the reward of all the work that I did in the summertime. And sometimes that is the key as to why people are not feeling up to par around this time, because they know the tides are changing into a more hibernation where you should be resting, but I don't have anything saved up for it. It's like the grasshopper and the ant. Are you the ant or are you the grasshopper? Have you been doing the work? Is this a time where you are reaping the harvest? And if it's still not enough, what were you looking for? What didn't you get? And while you're in hibernation, there's still things that you can do, like plan for when there's time in a place for you to move accordingly, which normally is going to happen around your spring and your summertime. Spring is representing hope and new beginnings, which correlates to how I feel in the springtime when things start to bloom. I literally get that. Opportunities, rebirth, colorful. Seed planting though, we have to remember that this is the time where you really want to start working the land. You want to start getting out there. People are starting to reemerge from their hibernation or their caves or whatever under a rock. So you kind of want to be that early bird. Catch people while they're still waking up, still not knowing what's going on, because honestly, people don't really start paying attention that emotionally, financially, or physically, winter is upon you until halfway through the summer. And by that time, we're basically skipping into fall. You know what I mean? So I think that's why also a lot of times people in fall have a lot of just sadness or lack of preparation, because they didn't really understand that each season only really pretty much has 3 months, but it does have an end date, even if it's a little longer than 3 months. And so they weren't preparing for that end date to come. But let's get back to spring. What I like about this is the time where you're ready to go. You're ready to plant that seed. You're ready to put down intentions. What it is that you want to get out of the year. What it is that you want to do and really accomplish. And plant the seeds. Do the work. So maybe sometimes you want to accomplish a business promotion or do something for your personal business where you really, like for me, honestly, right now I'm really trying to get some merch out and start branding myself in that regard. And I planted the seed, but I really need to lean more into that. So that's something that I really want to do. And right now I need to be in the process of tending the land and protecting the seed, which is our summertime. That's when you see the growth. That's when you see distractions. Oof. I think I'm in a summer fall moment because I'm distracted a lot right now. And they may be small, but they definitely are distracting me. This is a time where you want to measure, check, and adjust. So, right now, let's say, for example, same example, I want to get a lot more merch out. If I'm checking and adjusting right now, I have not put in any quotes. This is just me being honest. I have not emailed any quotes to the vendors that I'm interested in. I wanted to physically go there and touch the clothes because I wanted to do an in-state vendor. I have not done that. So in me checking and adjusting and protecting my seed, there's more work to be done. Yeah, but I'm not gonna be hard on myself. It's just me acknowledging what it is. For example, so the summertime, you have the distractions. For example, also, the summertime it be hot. Everybody want to go somewhere. Everybody want to party. But this is the time where you should be not staying at home, but just make sure you pay attention to the things that you want to get done, because fall is rolling back up, and that's where the cycle starts, stops, and continues. So we're back at fall, where you should want to feel the success and achievements of the work that you've done and capture the lessons that you've learned over the time of you doing the work, so you don't make the same mistakes again. Okay, so that's like a rundown of the 4 seasons and how I attach them to spiritually and emotionally, just checking and adjusting myself with the environment, for example. So some physical things that you may feel. You may feel back pains, neck pains, shoulder pains, and feet. Pay attention to where you carry the most stress at. Sometimes we relocate the stress for the sake of showing up in a better look for society. Like I know for me, when I'm at work, most of my stress goes to my feet so that I can kind of keep a happy look up here, because if it's in my face, the customers see it, it's not a good look. So pay attention to yourself, spend some time self-examining. What I like to do is meditate, but then after I get into the meditation and I get my breathing under wraps, I may sit there for a little bit and just almost imagine a microscope or a little magnifying glass going over and scanning my body. I don't change anything. I'm just here to acknowledge what my body feels like head to toe, whether that's the pressure of me sitting down or the texture of my pants on my hands that are resting on my lap, and just really also examine where am I holding the most stress. Your body naturally wants to relieve the stress once it's acknowledged, but you have to acknowledge it. And sometimes we don't. Do this throughout the meditation, being present, which I also just mentioned. You may see a surge of energy on a plus side without the motivation. And I think that's a big thing. You may see like you wanting to do more, or you feeling this ball of like a vibration or sensation, but not feeling the motivation to get it done. And that's a toughie. I feel like around that time when you are feeling that way, try to write everything down, try to put a date to things, and try to hold yourself to that date. But when you can't, just make sure you're keeping on the checking and adjusting and reallocating some of the things that you want to do, so you don't feel like this is a complete loss, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't have to be. Mentally, you may feel cloudy in thoughts, confusion, frustration, or you may feel like it's super busy up here and then nothing is happening on the physical, which could lead to restlessness. So make sure when it's time to rest, you are indeed resting and disconnecting. Get off your phone. Sometimes just lay there in a dark room and just be. Don't do nothing. I do refer or reference Headspace. It's an app for meditation. They have a great, I think, 10-session beginners, which is really good. I spent a lot of time there getting back into meditation and changing my thoughts around meditation. Meditation is not supposed to make you stop thinking. It's supposed to eventually get you into a space where you can think of certain things, or things in general, everything, without attaching an emotional reaction to it. So it's like cars passing on the road and you let them pass when you're walking down the street. You don't jump on the back of it and go for a ride 30-40 miles per hour down the road. But emotionally, that's what we do with our thoughts. Sometimes we jump on the back of them and hold on, and it's a rough ride for us. So I spent a lot of time using the app doing that. So I definitely think you should, check it out. Outside of that, this is going to be the end of my part 1. I do have a part 2 coming shortly.